Hi, welcome to Suplex the Sticks, a gaming podcast hosted by David and Seth.
Hello.
And Forrest.
Howdy.
Forrest just punched the microphone with his phone.
Yeah.
That's phone on phone crime.
Phone crime. But, you know.
What have I done?
You live and you learn.
So
Yeah.
true. I'm hanging on the edge of tomorrow.
It is late.
Yeah.
That's true. Practically is the tomorrow.
I think we should talk about the most important thing of the past week first, which is the Sonic 3 trailer. Here to save us from bad video game movies that Borderlands brought us into, and Sonic decided to raise us a little longer than 3 days after, but you know, it was close. And now, as promised, we have Shadow. Not voiced by Hayden Christensen, but, you know, it's still good. Keanu is going to be good, I think.
I think he's got the right vibe for what they've got going on with Shadow that they've showed off.
I kind of wanted it to be Hayden.
Oh, of course. That would have been perfect. But this is fine. He'll still be brooding.
Yeah.
What if they put Hayden Christensen in the movie? Just as like a random gun soldier.
Okay. I'll take it. He could also be like, kind of like a weirder character, maybe like Big the Cat.
What if?
Oh God!
What if when they do a flashback to Shadow's creation and they have a young Gerald Robotnik?
It's
him.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Man, I want all the songs from Sonic Adventure 2 to be in the game.
Well, they can't all be in there because there's a lot of Rouge songs and a few Amy songs, and
I think that we gotta have.
We can get Pumpkin Hill, and that's all that matters.
We gotta have Rouge in the movie somehow. Maybe Amy.
I don't think so. I don't think Amy. I think they're saving Amy until they go to Mobius in Sonic 4.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Because it's the one thing that they will have not explored yet is, like, at the beginning of the first movie, Sonic gets sent from his home.
Away from there.
And, you know, he was talking about he was trying to find a new place, but they haven't ever thought about going back.
I gotta say,
maybe with Shadow's ability to use chaos control, it will be able to teleport them.
Well, they don't need it. They just have the rings. The rings do that.
I mean, yeah, I guess too.
I was listening to another podcast today, and they brought up a good point that it is amazing that the fact that there's a third movie in this franchise exists right now.
Truly is.
And how...
Especially
Paramount,
how far we've come from that first trailer.
Arguably, I think still could have worked, but whatever.
I don't think it would have gotten 3 movies.
How they were bullied into success, which is an
unlikely story.
Yeah.
They kind of had no choice but to be successful because the fans wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. But
man, I wonder what Shadow would look like in that old art style.
See, and this is what we did with Knuckles during the last one.
True.
It's just like, I want to know.
Yeah.
I need to know. And never mind. We've talked about that so often. I still think that movie would have been just as good. It just would have had a weird looking Sonic.
Yeah, because the writing's not going to change.
Yeah, the writing was good.
Because of his design.
I love that first movie. I love the second one for different reasons than I love the first one. And then Knuckles is a very uneven show that's kind of fun, but also just it's all over the place.
Yeah.
I
didn't watch it.
You should.
I might at some point.
The comedy with No. You should watch it. Mainly, and I talked about this on the show before, the comedy with the other cop and his family.
Adam Pally.
Yeah, and his family with Knuckles is very funny, and how Knuckles kind of becomes like a surrogate member of their family.
I was about to say, does he get adopted into their family?
And sort of like participates in traditional like Jewish rituals with them and stuff. It's very
That's awesome.
Does he have a bar mitzvah?
no,
not old enough.
No, but
Since he's basically a child.
But
Which I don't
I
really
cannot
like.
remember,
I don't
but
really
I'm
like
pretty
that.
sure at one point he wears a yarmulke. But he does wear the cowboy hat definitely during the show.
God bless.
So it's a fun, weird show for sure. Give it past the first couple episodes because his family doesn't show up till in the middle of the season. There's only 6 episodes anyway. But
So
yeah,
episode 4.
Yeah, I was about to say, give it the first
But-
couple episodes, and then you're already halfway done with
Yep.
it. So.
but really, they did nothing to tie it into the larger Sonic. Like there was no like, oh man, I really got more of an idea of what they're doing with Sonic 3 by watching Knuckles.
I'm
So-
okay with that.
Yeah, they're it's very much not a like MCU type. You're missing out
like
on
super
something.
interconnected.
Right,
everything.
right.
Like no, this is just
It's a side
the
story.
characters live in this world.
Yeah,
And
you
aren't
get Sonic
always
and
doing the
Tails
main
for
plot thing.
a little bit in the first episode, and then that's it. But there's some good Knuckles comedy in there. The fact that Idris Elba did a show is wild, very very funny. It just goes to show how much money those movies made.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Sonic 3. Comes out this year. It might be the Christmas movie this year, but I kind of want to see it before that. So, but all right, let's talk about games that we've played. I beat a video game. I
Nice.
beat Steamworld Heist 2.
Woo.
Yeah, I feel woo. I like it. I have conflicting feelings. The first game, well, I know I 100%ed it basically, and I think I was like 18, 20 hours maybe. This one I ended up about 35 hours, and I 100%ed it. There's no tracker, but I did every single level all the way, like with all the optional stuff that you could do in the level. So I 100% it, and that means there's no percentage tracker for the game. It's very good. I don't think it needed to be 15 hours longer than the original game. I think it could have lived in that 20-hour range and been perfectly fine. Sometimes too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So I probably would have main pathed it a little more if I had known it was going to be that long. How long to beat has it around? 18 hours for a main path. And I kind of wish I had done that. But it was a very good game. I love that you get a wide cast of characters as you play through it. Kind of a little too late. So your submarine that you drive around to go to different levels gets like, you can unlock rooms in it, which lets you recruit different people. So you don't recruit the full submarine until like 3 or 4 levels before the end of the game, or 3 or 4 maps before the end of the game, which is
Jeez.
really late. So like one character ended up being one of my favorite little guys. I only got like maybe an hour with him out of the 34 hours. And so that was just kind of a bummer. And I kind of wish that they had, I know that they don't want to give you everything right away, but maybe let me get all of that by like hour 16 or hour 18. Let me have a full roster so I can spend more time with them.
Yeah.
I did like the characters I had, but this guy showed up at the end and he kind of was I should have known that he was going to be my favorite because his special move is like Eldritch Blast. And when he talks to you, he's like concerned about how linearly you think about time and on a dimensional plane, and like it's very funny. Like he's very like very Lovecraftian type, space time stuff. as you know, his thing is Eldritch Blast. He's like, I've got giant eyes, so I can see better in the dark. And it's like, yeah, but I see them. You're weird. But there's a lot of cool characters. Some of the characters from the first one end up showing up in little cameos, which is kind of nice. I got excited about that. And it's a great game. They didn't really change the mechanics too much. They just added on to the mechanics of the first one. Let you change
That's how
jobs.
sequels should be.
Yeah, I think so. I do kind of wish I'd experimented a little more with changing up the classes of my characters. I probably would have gone through the game a little bit faster just because you actually can so the game has 6 different classes, and each of them are tied to the type of gun the character has. So there's pistol, shotgun, sniper, bazooka, SMG, and maybe there's 5. I don't know. I think there's 6. And you can level them up and then level up a different job and kind of take skills from each of them and make up your own build of a character, which is kind of neat. But I did, I'm kind of vanilla. And so I just was like, I think you are my sniper and that sort of thing. And I got a little experimental with it later on. But it didn't make any of them feel overpowered, if that makes sense. It just made them feel like, oh, there's an alarm going off outside. Hopefully it's none of our vehicles.
Yeah.
So it never made any of them feel overpowered. It just made them have a little bit more of a messier menu navigation because there was instead of 6 attacks, there's 15. Like one of the characters end up having all these abilities, and you only get 2 actions per turn. So it's too much, really. So it's a great game, though. I recommend people playing it. Maybe main path it, though, instead of explore everything. But if it starts really clicking with you, explore it all. It was really clicking with me, and I was exploring it all. And then I got to the second to last area, and then I was like, all right, maybe I should have main path this. So it didn't hold the whole way through for me. Mainly because there's 2 of those last areas get much larger than the rest of the other ones that you did. So I did that. I suplex certify it. I need to play Steamworld build. Seth got on to me about that. I haven't done it yet. That's the only one I haven't played.
Is this one also set in a weird sort of post-apocalyptic setting? Because that's one of the things I've noticed of the Steamworld games that I play.
Well, they're all in the same timeline.
Yeah, but it feels like at the end of every game, they're always like, all right, let's get off of this planet and go find somewhere else new to live.
So, Steamworld lore. Steamworld Dig takes place on a planet that is put together. Or it is a whole planet. That's what I mean. Steamworld Dig 2, something happens at the end of Steamworld Dig 2 that causes the planet to explode. And what happens with that planet after it explodes is it doesn't actually explode and everything dies. It explodes and separates and creates all these different shards of the planet. And so, this story is happening on a specific shard of the planet in the future. And Steamworld Heist 1 happened in space in the inner core of the shards. And this is considered an outer rim type of planet. So the planet exploded and created a sort of galaxy-like system. And they even mention in this game, different shards have different cultures, and different shards have, the Steamworld quest, is more like a, it's how they're getting away with a...
Right. Having the same world, but a bunch of weird... different genres.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Steamworld build lands and all that, but that is how they get away with it in Steamworld. The rest of them. So yeah, it took me a little bit to realize that's what they were doing with the lore. But this one kind of hit it home a little bit, so that was cool. There was a fun joke from the character from the first one where they were like, yeah, you can, a lot of people have adapted my adventures into many forms of media, and some of them go on sale really cheap at times. So if you want to grab it, it's available.
That's funny.
And it made me laugh because the Steamworld games do go on sale a decent amount.
So I pulled up from the Steamworld wiki the Steamworld timeline,
Okay.
and under Steamworld build, it just says TBA.
Yeah.
They have not put anything there.
But I am right. That's Dig 2, and then
Yep.
kind of the rest of them.
Well, the timeline begins in the late 1790s / early
Yes.
1800s.
Oh yeah, there's a whole. Yes, it's
When Charles Babbage invented the analytical machine.
yes. That there is a lot of lore drops in these games.
What is the analytical machine
The
do?
first in the
no.
timeline is Steamworld Tower Defense.
Oh, that's right. Never played that one. I think like almost no one played that. That was like a DS, right? That was an eShop title. Or a
Steamworld build
DS.
is set
That sounds
during the events of Steamworld Dig 2.
Okay. Probably when they were trying to fix the planet, because that was a big part of Dig 2 is they were trying to get off of it because they tried to fix it and it didn't work.
No, the whole time you're trying to build a rocket to get off the planet.
Of build.
Yeah,
Oh, so it is happening in conjunction with SteamWorld Dig 2 then.
yeah.
Because Dig 2 is all about digging down and getting the parts for the rocket and stuff like that. Man, I cannot impress enough that SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2 are some of the most perfect video games.
They're fun to play for sure.
They're super good, and I wish that we would get another SteamWorld Dig eventually. I'm glad we got another SteamWorld Heist, but that's not what I would have gone back to the well for if I was them. Definitely
You
like
know,
it better than
they
SteamWorld
want to try
Quest.
different things.
Yeah, I know. I want them to try different things.
You just said you didn't want them to do that.
No, I just want my cake and to eat it too, or whatever. I want both. Make the one I want and the one you want. I still just want the one I want and the one you want. Other than that, I started Star Wars Outlaws today. I played about the first hour and a half of that. First thing of note, as I say for almost every video game out there, turn off film grain and motion blur. Turn it off right away.
But they want it to look like the movies.
More than you realize.
More than you realize. That's because this game is presented with
Presented by
the
Fast and
black
the
bars
Furious.
on top and bottom of the screen,
Oh,
like it is a movie.
that's
You
it's
can,
weird. Yeah, that's
but it provides a very cinematic experience.
I'm sure
This
it does.
game is freaking beautiful. Holy crap! It is so pretty.
Is it as pretty as the Watch Dogs reveal trailer?
Yes. I mean, it
That
hasn't
is a
rained
good
or like
metric.
that, but that one's really wet, and so like,
Very wet.
that's
That's
wet.
the whole reason it looked good.
Wet adds a different sheen.
Yeah.
But like, let me tell you that like moving around this world, it just is. The Jedi Survivor game or Star Wars Jedi games were very cool. Are very cool. Enjoy them. Love them. They feel like Star Wars. This, the hour and a half I've played, I am like seeing the fidelity that Ubisoft put into the character models of like the different aliens, and a lot of them they really focus on alien species that you know and recognizable ones, and then they like really ramp up the detail. So like if you remember, I can't remember which one he was in. I'm pretty sure it was one of the patrons of the bar on In A New Hope, where he's like kind of like furry and has like the big red eyes and the two teeth in the front. Like he looks like kind of like a mosquito person. There's some of those in this game, and they look just like that, just like just the alien. They look amazing. That sounds stupid to say, but it's if you play this or watch a really high quality playthrough, you can see like what's going to come across on the screen to you. The holograms, everything I've done so far looks really good. The only thing that's a little weird is when you are in cutscenes and they're speaking to each other. That's the only part where it's just like, okay, this is a little...
The lip syncing felt a little off.
Yeah, but I can ignore that, especially in game when I'm walking around the city, and you know what I mean. It's kind of Uncharted-y, where like you can climb and explore. Love that. The shooting is minimal. It's not really the focus here. The stealth and it's not hard stealth. It seems like. And I can have my little axolotl friend steal money from guards and stuff. So that's pretty rad. And love that.
And attack their faces.
Yes, he attack. He attack. And all of this with a minimal HUD. Very minimal HUD. Forrest can attest.
It's true.
The HUD is basically like a couple of button options at the very bottom of the screen just to remind you that they're there, and then a compass at the top. And that is amazing. Give me as little HUD as possible with this, because they want it to be cinematic and look like a movie, and they're killing it, I think. I'm very excited to keep playing this. Shout out to the Xbox Series X and the Xbox platform, because you can use Ubisoft Plus with it. I don't know if you can use Ubisoft Plus with your PC or with your PlayStation, but I have Ubisoft Plus, so I get to play this game right away. So it's and I also downloaded Beyond Good and Evil 2 20th Anniversary Remaster, because I've never beaten that game. So while I have Ubisoft Plus, I'm gonna take advantage.
And you know what else you could play?
Always.
No, I won't. I've hesitated to even like attach my PlayStation account to it in case, because you'll just
I'll just play Sea of Thieves, or play
Sea of
not
Thieves.
the Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
the other game,
fake Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
the game where you
This
play.
guy's a fake fan.
You play
He doesn't
as
even know what
you
it's
play as
called.
a ship, not as a pirate. I remember you guys were so confused the first time I told you that.
So, all right,
Skull and Bones.
Skull and
That's
Bones.
the
I didn't want to
name.
say
That's
it
the
'cause
name.
I didn't want to invoke it.
Yeah. Well, Seth, what have you played?
Not Skull and Bones.
You're living a better life for
It's
it.
probably true. I think if I had ever purchased that game when it came out, it'd probably be the only game that I play, and I would complain about it all the time. And never do anything else.
What a what a sad end to
Yeah.
a good existence.
It's a quadruple A game.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
In a way.
I don't really have much to talk about, unless we want to talk about more Borderlands, or that's really it, actually.
Listen, I've been
It's
there.
interesting how the very beginning of Borderlands 2. Also, shout out to Chris, who came through with he pulled out the Handsome Collection Xbox One disc from out some crevice of his home.
Very nice.
So I've finally been able to have my desire to play Borderlands 2 sated. But it's amazing how the opening minutes of that game have like more dialogue, more spoken dialogue than the entirety of Borderlands 1. Which is funny. They just they really were like, what if we did voice acting in this game?
And then they thought with Borderlands 3, what if we did
bad voice acting?
bad voice acting?
Well, the voice acting is fine. The scripts aren't great.
Yeah. Jeez, the noises
What the
outside
heck?
today are crazy.
Yeah.
It's loud outside.
I really want to play that with you, but I cannot. I've played it so many times.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to play it, I wouldn't recommend playing it again. Like, it's a good game, but, there's
I just
nothing really
want a
new
good
in it.
new one.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
thing. I want a
Yeah.
good new one.
Yes. Me too.
And I'm not certain that Borderlands 4 is going to give that to me. So
Well,
It's a real cool
whenever
toss.
we hadn't recorded since it was revealed.
oh yeah, hold on. Does Forrest have anything he's played?
I tried out Valorant since it's on the Xbox now. That was a miserable experience. I was having a horrible time. None of the character abilities felt like they didn't feel beginner friendly. That game is highly like the higher tier of competitive
Yeah, welcome
shooters.
to
And I think that blows.
welcome to what Riot is all about.
But that's the thing. I played
Ultra.
League of Legends before. The character abilities in that make sense to me. But for some reason,
Yeah,
they
but
just
the
did
item
not
buying
click.
doesn't make sense. That's
Oh, because it's
'cause
just
the
trying to be
item-
Counter-Strike. And, it's...
No, I'm talking about item buying in League.
Oh.
Like that's where League, the character abilities make sense. It's the item builds that you have to do
Yeah.
mid round that make it unmanageable and stressful and kind of unattainable to a normal person.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more of a skill gap.
Yeah. And I just...
That's
had-
not being mean to you. It's
No,
just
no. I mean, it's
you know.
definitely a skill issue on my part, but it was a miserable experience. I don't ever want to touch that game again.
yeah.
I actually can sort of understand. I've watched some gameplay of Valorant, and I remember coming away with the thought of, man, all of these abilities that these characters have seem really strange.
Yes.
Like they don't.
They don't do one simple thing. Like they do like half of a thing or a really niche
Yeah.
like thing that you would normally not even consider in regards to like a shooting game or like an active combat situation in a game like that. Also,
But the people who are good at it really know how to use them.
yeah, and good for them, I guess. Sucks for everyone who's not that though.
Yeah.
Also, I did not like the feeling of the shooting, like the aiming. There's two different kinds of aiming. It defaults to just like a slight like focus, where basically it just the screen slightly zooms in, but you're not like actually aiming down your sights. So you're not improving your aim really. And then the second one is you have to go into either the menus to find this, or you just when you're doing that focus zoom in, you click like the right stick or something like that, like you're playing Halo. And then it does an actual aim down the sights. And there's a setting within the options to just default to that ADS. And once I started doing that, I started, doing better per match. But like even then, the hit detection and like the bullet spread is just completely whack. I mean, there were so many instances where I was hitting guys like on my screen straight in the head, but then when I get killed by them in a single shot, it shows like a bullet map of where you all were hitting each other, and it was saying that I hit him like 4 or 5 times in the chest and that it still wasn't enough to kill. And like it was just,
Which is weird because that's where the heart is.
yeah, but yeah, so it was a miserable experience. I don't recommend it a single bit.
Dang.
Yeah. And then,
R.I.P. Valorant.
yeah, for real.
I mean, it's
dead
there.
game, dead to me.
Very successful game, but
Yeah.
dead to Forest.
Yeah,
That's okay. You can just play Marvel Rivals in December.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm gonna play Marvel Rivals, and I'm still gonna always enjoy playing classic Halo because that's all I've been playing lately, and more Hollow Knight. Making a lot of good progress in that this week. I've been struggling with
R.I.P. Hollow Knight.
yeah, truly.
Not RIP, it's a great game. Watch someone play it on Twitch with DK Bongos yesterday.
I came across
Did they also use the clapping?
I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't
probably
see that.
not.
He started. It was a weird situation. The DK Bongos brought me in, and then he decided to start talking about his personal politics for 15 minutes instead of playing the game.
Oh no.
And I bounced.
I see.
I was like, I'm good.
He said that was
Sorry,
enough.
Twitch DK Bongos player guy.
When I was playing Hollow Knight earlier, I came across this. I guess the best way I could describe it is a standing corpse of what I think is the king.
Ah, yes.
Am I right on that?
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know. You know everything about this game.
I know,
David.
but I haven't
You
seen
named
what
your
you've
son
seen.
after it.
You're right. I haven't seen what you've seen. I need to see what you...
Yeah,
I don't
you could be
remember where
referring
it
to
was.
Because you could be
Like,
referring to multiple things.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's
It
a
just,
lot of dead people in that game.
yeah.
There really is.
Like you go up to it and you can like inspect it, and it just I don't even remember what it said, but it was just like this super
Was it
tall.
sad and wistful? Yeah.
Maybe kind of, I don't know. Like it just said that he was a corpse, and he's just super tall, and he's got like spiky, like thin spiky head, and I'm like, that looks like it could be a king.
It could be.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Did you dream nail him?
No, it didn't have the stuff flying around him.
You can
To
dream
do it.
nail anything.
So true.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot next time I come across him. Then.
Yeah, dream nail the king.
I'm gonna go to bed tonight, dreaming of nailing the king.
Dream nail the king. You can see his dreams.
Yeah.
I'm just
Some
saying.
of those fights are stupid tough.
Not the dream nail is not just for
Oh,
fighting.
yeah.
You can see characters' interior thoughts.
Yeah.
Much
even
like
the
Mind Read and Golden Sun.
It is like
Oh.
mind. It is actually exactly like
Wow.
Mind Read and Golden Sun.
I've also discovered with playing Hollow Knight this week, I don't enjoy the combat at all.
Oh, too bad. It's
I
great.
love the exploration and the platforming though. That's when the game's at its best. And I think the boss design, most of the time, except for the Dung Defender, shout out to that guy, he rocks. But every other boss that I faced, I just have not had a good time with. Sometimes they were neither engaging enough, or some of them just had like really just BS things, or like it was like there were very few options to get out of an attack or something like that, you know?
Yeah, it's very much
especially
a
as a-
memorization game.
Yeah.
Of
And
attack
normally,
patterns.
and normally I'm cool with that. Like that's why I love the Mega Man Zero games. But something about this, like, and maybe it's just I feel like the player toolkit is a little limited sometimes, or that just reaction times or inputs just don't always feel right.
Are you being creative with your badges?
I'm trying. I
Okay.
put on one of the
Okay.
one of the ones that emits like a cloud that does damage like less than every second.
Have you
that was a good one.
have you upgraded your dream nail?
Have you used the triple rod?
Love the triple rod. I think I've upgraded no, I have not upgraded the dream nail yet, but I've upgraded the nail, the regular one, twice now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff that you should have
Yeah.
that will make combat more interesting, but it depends if you find it.
Yeah.
You could beat the game without finding it. So
That's a horrible thought.
yeah, it's just like Control, where you could beat the game without finding powers that fill out your toolkit.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, Hollow Knight's a great game. Everyone should play it, Seth.
At times it's great.
Well, I guess we can talk about Jeff Keighley and Opening Night Live and how Borderlands 4. And he was so
He
excited.
was so pumped.
As
That's
if-
what they opened the show with?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it
I think
is.
It was the first thing, because it was the first thing I saw.
But yeah,
I mean, it's really the biggest announcement.
I guess we knew it was happening. They've said they're working on it.
Sure, but it wasn't
That's
technically announced.
when he was like, "This didn't get leaked." I was like, "That's because everyone knew it was."
Yeah, it's
They were working on this.
just the other day, Randy Pitchford was like, "We're doing Borderlands fans will be happy with what we're working on,"
yeah,
but it still hadn't been revealed.
there was a 4 in the A of the title of the movie.
What?
Someone noticed it in the graphic design thing. The A is cut off in a way that it makes a 4 in the A.
Well,
which is really bad.
I mean,
But
I don't think that has anything to do with this.
it's possible, but the trailer did explicitly have the same Firebird symbol that the movie kind of had.
Yeah, so I think that was
So,
that was more of a.
are we going to see Cate Blanchett in Borderlands 4? It's possible.
Well, okay, I think it makes more sense in the trailer for Borderlands 4 because it shows the moon crashing into something. I don't know. It seems like it's
force
crashing
field?
through a force field or some kind of dimensional wall. I don't know. And of course, the moon is what Lilith sacrificed her life to prevent from crashing into the planet in Borderlands 3. So
I barely remember that.
that's why there's that big old Firehawk thing.
I barely remember that happening. What?
Yeah, that was the end of the game.
I don't remember anything that happened in that game besides the wedding between.
But that was in the DLC. I never even played that.
I did. It was good.
I don't know.
But that's what I remember.
Well,
And I remember the big suck.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Who can forget the big suck?
that
Maya
casino
getting
planet
killed.
we hated.
God.
Yeah, that's about it. Maya got killed?
Yes.
Oh my god,
It was terrible.
Yeah.
I need to relook up
I
this
knew
She
game.
stole her powers, and then at the end, her powers got passed to her terrible sidekick that was the worst character in the game.
I think I erased that game from my brain
It seems clear that you did.
Yeah.
in like a rage. Like I remember none of that.
I didn't even finish that game, and
Do you
I
remember that the
more of it
final
than you
boss
did.
is the girl combined with the destroyer from Borderlands 1?
I vaguely remember it being the destroyer from Borderlands 1. I did not think it was the girl combined with it.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a weird game. That-
I'm I was better off before we talked about this.
Yes.
And now I'm
Anyway, all this is to say is that I doubt that the team that was working on the movie, the design team, really had any contact with the actual developers of the game. I think that was just their stylistic choice for the logo.
That's fair.
But yeah, Borderlands 4, all the trailer shows is the moon breaking through some
Invisible wall.
invisible blue thingy, and stuff flying from. I think it's the moon. I think it also could have been the planet. I don't know, but their stuff flies off of it onto the, and then there's a big robot hand that picks up a psycho mask.
Yeah. I remember that from the trailer. Oh, I remember the one thing. I remember the Indiana Jones like guy in Borderlands 3. Was he in 3 or?
Typhon DeLeon.
Yes. I liked him a lot.
Yes.
I like that character. That was it. I remember that.
I
thing.
totally forgot about it until the other day. I was looking, or it might have been, I had to have been yesterday. I was looking on the wiki for something because I was trying to. I was reading about the sirens because I wanted to know who they all were and what their powers were. Yeah, and it made me remember him.
Typhon DeLeon. That was my favorite part of Borderlands 3, getting the little lore drops about him.
Yep. And then you meet him.
Yeah, that was less exciting, but he was fine. So I don't remember much about opening night live. I think
me
it was
either.
pretty.
I mean, it was like 2 weeks ago
It was pretty forgetful. Besides,
or 1 week.
people
ago.
people are really excited about that Mafia game. I don't know. Doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
Mafia exists.
but this time it's in Italy, in the old country.
People are actually pretty ambivalent, surprisingly, to Indiana Jones being on the PlayStation next year. So that's good. I think that the nerds have calmed down and decided it's not that big of a deal, because it's not. And yeah, was there anything else about opening night live that stood out to y'all?
Not that I can remember.
The new Supermassive game was revealed, Directive 8020. With you probably no one remembers it, but
I don't.
It is yeah.
Wait,
It was in like space.
I remember the space.
Lashana Lynch.
Yes, is that are they the people that did like the horror games?
Yeah.
The
I did Until Dawn and
yes. I think this is a
the
new
Murders
chapter
of-
in their thing.
yeah, it's another Dark Pictures.
The
Anthology.
Dark Pictures anthology.
Let's see. There was the announcement of this anthology show that's going to be on Amazon Prime.
Yes,
called
this is
Secret
probably the
Levels.
coolest thing was the secret level
yeah.
reveal.
Oh no, there's one of those 12 that's the coolest thing, and it's
Oh yeah,
Mega
it's Armored
Man.
Core.
We're getting a Mega Man episode.
Yeah.
We're
So
getting Mega Man.
Yeah, so-
more.
Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
we get
There's
that.
going to be Armored Core, Concord, Crossfire, Dungeons and Dragons,
Crossfire.
Exodus, Honor of Kings, Mega Man, New World Eternum, Pac-Man, PlayStation. That's just all it says.
Pac-Man thing is weird looking.
Yeah. Sifu.
I thought
Hell yeah.
I thought the Pac-Man thing was Destiny at first because it's a guy in like a Destiny-looking outfit with this floating orb next to him. It's like, oh, that's Destiny and that's a ghost, obviously. But it's Pac-Man.
Yeah. So we got Sifu, Spelunky, The Outer Worlds, and Unreal Tournament. So
Some interesting choices there. I think it's weird that Crossfire is on there.
yeah,
But I guess they just wanted to do a military
thing.
It's big outside of America.
I guess so.
That's why.
I'm curious, but yeah, these will premiere on December 10th on Amazon Prime.
But I think this is a
Video.
cool thing. It's an anthology show
Mega
done
Man.
by the Love, Death, and Robots people.
Love it.
I think this is like the perfect way to do animated adaptations of video games and like the perfect team to do it. So we don't have to have a whole huge big budget movie that's not going to be all that good.
Yeah. You just have short stories. There's less time to mess
And because
things
it's
up.
animated, you don't have to necessarily abide by the laws of physics like you have to do in
Live action
in
stuff.
live action.
The suspension of disbelief is already
Yeah.
disbelieved.
This is the newest Mega Man thing I've gotten since that episode of Star Wars Visions, which
Yeah.
was
That
just
was
Mega
basically
Man.
Mega Man. I mean, you could argue it's
That
more
was
Astro Boy,
yeah.
but
You know,
But,
the,
he inspired Mega
they're
Man,
similar.
so...
They're similar.
Yeah. We also got a gameplay reel for Dune Awakening.
it
I'm
looks
pumped for
like a
that.
janky MMO.
I'm pumped for it.
Probably is.
That's because it is. It will be cool, but it has that MMO kind of jank. So, it looks fine. We'll see.
And of course, who can forget Peter Molyneux coming back on stage and revealing another game that is like many of his other games.
I can't
Another God
believe-
game.
I can't believe that we're still allowing Peter Molyneux to make things. Someone should stop him.
I mean, I don't think he makes bad things, but I feel like the problem is he always talks up how his game is going to be revolutionary and he's going to change the way we view gaming, and then it's just a video game. Although I think this game did actually look cool. It reminded me a lot of Black and White, which I thought was a cool game that he made back in the 2000s.
I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
Did you see that when Jeff bragged about how excited people were to get a new look at Arc Raiders, but it ended up only being like a 15-second cinematic trailer? That was really weird.
What's Arc Raider? Oh, yeah. Yes. I mean, it's a cool looking cinematic trailer. As far as those go.
Yeah.
Who knows what the heck the game is.
Reanimal. I'm excited for that. That's the actual people that made Little Nightmares new game. Because they don't have the IP anymore. And the people that have it went with a different studio. for the third game.
I don't think I was aware of that.
Oh, well, there
That
you go.
sucks.
Speaking of
Sucks for
IP,
them.
another fun thing about that Peter Molyneux game.
Yeah,
what
it's
is it?
called Masters of Albion.
Masters of Albion, and I'm pretty sure when he revealed it, he specifically name dropped Fable,
Yeah, he said
saying that
it's-
this was in the same universe. When
Yeah.
he
can't do that.
does not, this is not involved with that IP at all. And
It's going to lead to a lawsuit
it's so weird.
eventually.
Like
Because he can't say that.
right, it's not a Fable game. He doesn't own Fable anymore.
Now,
It's-
granted, I think Albion is kind of not copyrightable because
Because it's
it's like a concept less of a...
it's an alternative name for Great Britain.
Sure,
it
but I
comes
thi-
from Greek.
But when you state
but
it's a Fable game.
right, but using
Yeah.
the word, you can name a place Albion and not get into trouble. But when you're calling it
When you
Albion
say,
and specifically
"This
saying
is
this is
Fable's
Albion
Albion."
from Fable, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is you can't just do this, right?
Well,
But
he's the master
That's true.
of Albion. He
That's
can do what he
true.
wants.
This is where we got the release date for Marvel Rivals. This is December 6th, and it's going to have Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
And that they finally revealed Cap and Bucky. And Bucky has a weird robot arm that shoots
Tentacle
does.
things.
Well, no, but it does tentacle things, and that's weird. But
Yeah.
Cap looks like he's wearing a mech suit, which is kind of fun and weird.
Maybe in this version, he never got the super soldier serum, and this instead just has super armor,
I mean, that's possible.
power armor.
He has the super armor serum.
And they're still trying
Maybe
to.
he's an android. Maybe he's Vision.
They're still trying to make me care about Diablo 4, and I add a sword
It
and board.
won't happen,
character.
gosh darn you.
Add a sword and board character, and I will be
Sword and
back in.
board?
Sword and board?
Yeah, that's what people on the internet call like a classic Crusader type character: sword and shield, sword and board.
How do they not have a Crusader class in Diablo of all games?
Forrest, I've said that on this show multiple times.
I
You
feel
know how my memory
sword
works.
And board
This is news
to me implies he's either on a surfboard or a
Ooh.
skateboard.
There is no Crusader or
Both
Paladin
preferred options.
like class in Diablo 4.
That's crazy. I
In
now
fact-
understand your frustration.
Yeah, because
I mean,
that's
there's
what
one
I
in-
play.
There's one in Pokemon, for gosh sakes.
Yeah.
Palafin.
Yes, or the far-fetched one. I almost called it.
Surfetch, sure.
I almost
I
called
guess.
it Farquad, because I don't. I don't remember Pokemon names sometimes.
Farfetch'd evolves into Farquad.
Just because I'm now mad about it, Forrest. The classes in Diablo 4 are Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Magician, and Rogue.
That's crazy. How do you not
I mean,
have...
is Barbarian
just a
not
typical-
fill the same role as
No.
No,
No.
especially not in Diablo. It is a dual wielding and more like animalistic, like no
Like
healing.
a berserker.
Yeah, it's more berserker esque.
That's crazy that
why don't
there's
you
no
just-
just regular knight type.
Yeah, but they're so
Character.
basic. They wanted it to not be basic.
Yeah,
It's based
so
on
they
D&D classes. It's
Yeah.
gonna be freaking basic. Have a
and then
paladin
now
in
their
there.
new character
It's
is
Diablo.
they call it a spirit something. It's the nice way that they're getting around saying witch doctor, which it was witch doctor in Diablo 2, I think, or Diablo 1. I can't remember what witch doctor was in.
Maybe
Which
they don't want to
doctor
have
was
a
it?
paladin because paladins are always aligned with good, and they don't want to. And then this version, it's like good can't win in that here.
You're saying this stuff, and I'm not like gonna get mad at you about this, but there has been a crusader,
In previous
a
Diablos, like
sword,
even I know that.
a sword, shield, and holy magic character in every single Diablo until this game. This
I would argue
Maybe they got tired of
I
it.
would argue it's the class that makes the most sense to have in a game like Diablo, where you're facing the hordes of hell.
Look, I'm just being Diablo's advocate here.
Spiritborn.
see.
Spiritborn.
Spiritborn.
That's a nice way of saying. I guess I'm bad for. I don't know if I'm bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you
can
can say witch doctor anymore because of woke.
you said it. So well,
Yeah, I remember read it is it Spirit Born or Spirit Board? Because I feel like I remember it being Spirit Board, and I'm like, was it
Spiritborn.
Was it
It's
either
not a Ouija board. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
and he's very witchy boy.
Yeah.
He's
Very swampy.
Yeah. He is one of the locals.
Wow. That sounded more racist than me saying witch doctor, Forrest. That's your mom coming out.
This is my long family history in Alabama. I'm sorry.
But yeah, Spiritborn. I might pay for that DLC. I tried to play Druid because I know what to do. Like that's just not what I like to play.
Yeah.
There was no home for me in this game. It felt bad. It came out on my birthday. I was so excited for this game.
Birthday games should be the best.
In a franchise I love.
Yeah.
I love Diablo.
Did you try playing it in your birthday suit?
No, I probably did at one point. I don't know. I was also sleep deprived for that whole game because it was like the first 6 months of little David being alive. So no, first like 12. It was.
You mean Little Hollow Knight? Soap
Yeah.
song.
You're right. Little Hollow Knight Silk Song. That's the name of my son. We just call him David for short.
It's a weird way to shorten it, but
Yeah.
it works.
That
You
makes
don't get the
sense if you,
judgment.
If you look at it on paper,
Yeah.
you can see how,
Yeah.
how it lines up.
Yeah. Man, I'm just really mad about Diablo 4 again.
I'm
I was
mad
going to
with-
reinstall
I'm mad
it the
with
other
you
day.
about this.
Wait a minute. You open up speaking about Diablo 4 by saying it would not get its hooks in you again, and that you weren't going to play it anymore.
Well, I want to
late.
finish it.
And
That's
you
the
have
problem. I'm like
multiple
full-
times said that I might get this DLC. Oh, I want to play it again. I might reinstall it.
I need to finish it.
You don't
That's
need
the
to
problem.
finish it.
I do. I'm like 4 acts into a 5-act game. I'm like right there.
Does it have third act problems?
Oh yeah, the story is.
Then why?
Never mind.
Why do you need to
Hold
finish
on.
it?
I need to note. I can't really say that because I do what I do in all Diablo games, which is yeet the story out of my brain and just play the game. I just skip all the story and I go play
Well,
the game.
then why do you even care about finishing it if you
'Cause
don't
I
care about the story?
want to finish it to say I finished it.
This is preposterous.
Also, I blame Destiny. They tried to combine Destiny stuff with Diablo.
Yeah.
That's not
And
good.
we saw how that worked for Destiny.
Yeah.
Fired all their employees.
They probably fired all the ones that they couldn't harass anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Or play Truth or Dare with.
yeah. But all right, let's talk about opening night live. Nope, we're done with
I
that
just
one.
did that. We can do it again.
Yeah, they opened up with Borderlands 4. I think you guys are pretty excited about that.
Now we can talk about the combo direct, the KFC Taco Bell direct.
Pizza.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
if
you
only
made
they
a
had
joke
thrown a
about that.
Pizza
And
Hut in there.
I, for some reason, I just did not understand until it got all the way through the indie showcase, and they did 2 bits of like, this is the last thing we have, and I looked at the time and I'm like, there's 20 minutes left. What is going on? And then they're like, okay, that's the end of this section. Here's the partner showcase. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It
what?
used to be a Taco Bell Pizza Hut down the street from here.
Yeah.
It was so great. I
This
loved going
direct
to it.
was the equivalent of being able to
a
get.
personal pan with a Baja Blast
yeah.
at the same place,
God bless.
and 3 breadsticks.
Oof.
Makes me so mad that they got rid of that Pizza Hut part.
There wasn't too much in this that really got me. Besides Peglin. Peglin was big. I love a Peggle game.
I think I played Peglin on my phone.
Oh yeah, it's probably fake. You're making it up. It's a new game. It's on this direct. It's never been out before. Pizza Tower continues to look like a game that I just cannot get on board with the art style at all.
Where I am
I
so
just-
on board of it.
I hate everything about it on the surface.
You don't like how it looks like it was made in MS Paint?
Yeah, I hate it.
I love it.
It's a very distinct art style.
Yeah,
for sure.
and I understand that the underlying game may be great, but not for me because I can't get past that. Same reason why I can't really get into Minecraft. I don't like the way Minecraft looks, and I'm sure it's fun, but
Minecraft doesn't really look like anything.
it definitely has a look.
That's true.
It's squares.
So I think there was some interesting stuff. There was a moth cube. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
Where you play the moth working at a corporate job.
I didn't like that one.
I don't really.
There's just so many things going on.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
hard to tell what the
And it
game
all
actually was.
made me angry because of how much the moth looked like
Okay,
the
well,
titular Hollow Knight.
yes.
Oh
And
my
I-
god.
That's
I'm
fine.
bitter about that game because it looks.
But you don't even play as the titular Hollow Knight in
Man.
Silksong.
Yeah, you do, and you become the Hollow Knight in Hollow Knight. Spoilers.
No, but
Spoilers.
in the gameplay issue, you play as Hornet in Silksong.
I know, but I'm still sad.
Anyways, it looked neat, even though the trailer did not really make clear what the gameplay was.
Yeah, zero clue what the game is based on that trailer.
Saw the first look at the Sea of Stars DLC,
That was
which
dope.
looked rad.
Yeah.
That was
It
awesome.
seems like all of the characters are transformed into new characters,
Yeah,
which I think is really cool.
it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and
like
it's
a
free,
circus.
which is also cool.
Yeah,
And because it's all like clockwork themed, I can only hope there's new gears, new
oh yeah, wheels.
wheels. There's
Yes.
new wheels stuff in there. That's,
As you know,
that's what
Forrest definitely played wheels.
Wheels.
I want. Morsels was another absolutely weird looking game.
Man.
Yeah, I did not like the vibe of that.
So that's the thing.
It
I
seems
really
like-
like the animation work for it, but like, it's all poop.
What?
So much of it looks like poop.
Yeah, it's
And so I'm like, oh god, I
it's
can't be
definitely
caught playing
it's
this.
definitely kind of a gross looking game on purpose.
But there's so much like it looks good though.
Yeah. It looked neat. It seemed like there's some weird, there's like top-down bullet hell stuff, but also
Yeah.
like monster catching in it. Seemed neat to me.
There was a new trailer for Neva, which is from the makers of Gree.
Now that looked cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
looked cool.
That's gonna be a banger.
That looked very, very cool. It made me want to play Gree because I
It's a
still
good
haven't
game.
played that.
Takes like 2 hours.
Yep.
It's beautiful. I cried.
I feel like that's my only like withholding with this game is how much game is there.
That's fair. And it's mostly just platforming and puzzle solving and exploring. It's
don't know.
mostly all pretty straightforward too.
It seems, but this one looks neat. I'll tell you, one of the things they did at one point in the Indie Direct, there was like a quick fire like they usually do, and there was a game that I looked and I was like, ooh, this looks neat. And of course it was Metal Slug Tactics.
Yeah,
Like,
that game looks so good.
obviously this is the game that my brain immediately goes, ooh, what is this?
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't mention Date Everything.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, that's funny. But
A dating sim game where you
They
can
can
date
just-
quite literally everything.
they all have OCs
Yeah.
for every single object in the house.
Yeah. And the game itself. And concepts such as existential dread.
Yeah. Apparently, the game itself you can date in it somehow.
Yeah, that would be.
It's like it's the concept is funny, but it's not really something I'm interested in playing all that much. Unless it's like $2 on the eShop.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas that house dating game from Summer Game Fest, I
Yeah.
was super
Yeah.
into that.
Building relationships.
Yeah, but like this one,
Because it looks like there's actual gameplay. in
yeah,
it.
this one was so obtuse and also just a flash
yeah,
gaming.
Yeah,
that
just
I
like a
was,
visual novel.
Yeah.
There was a announcement of Shovel Knight, like a Shovel Knight re-release, and I thought, I don't know, I feel like this is one of the most ported games of all time at this point, besides Skyrim and Resi 4. I thought it was already on the Switch.
It is.
What is this then?
I'm not sure, but I know that you can play every Shovel Knight game on the Switch.
Okay,
currently.
heard.
I have not played one of them. Ever.
I've bought it on multiple consoles, and on multiple consoles have been like, this just really isn't for me. I keep giving it it looks like a game that I would enjoy, but every
Yeah.
time I play it, I was like,
You just bounce off of it. Same.
yeah. Although Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon rules,
Hmm.
I'll say that. Yeah, I don't know what this. I assume it's like it has to be like a deluxe remake, for whatever that means.
Yeah.
Now, the
It's got
remake...
DX on it.
I know this was not in the Direct, but it's definitely coming to Switch, I would bet. But did y'all see that Croc and the Legend of the Gobbos is getting a remake?
What?
I don't know what that is.
What did you just say?
Excuse me?
Croc and the Legend of the Gobbos sounds like a
That sounds like a
load
slur.
of Croc.
Oh my god, you monsters. You don't know
You're the one
what-
who's invoking.
You're the one saying slurs live on air.
No!
Calling people gobbos.
Croc, the Legend of the Gobbos!
Oh, I didn't know that had a subtitle.
Was I alive when this game came out? initially?
1997.
I never played
What
it.
month?
Oh, this game is great. You never
Yeah, I
played
never
it?
played it, but
Oh, man.
I do vividly remember the that
What
screen.
month did this game release?
This game came out in September of
It
1997.
predates me by 2 months.
For the
I've never heard
PlayStation.
of this freaking thing.
Listen,
But again, I didn't have a PlayStation.
it
So
Like,
a
It
there's-
was
remake
just like
of
a
this.
it was just like a mascot platformer from the age where every other game was a mascot platformer.
there's
yeah.
Great age, honestly.
Yeah, Croc and the Legend
Take
of
us
the
back.
Gobbos and Chameleon Twist.
Yeah.
we were
Chameleon Twist was
thriving.
rad.
Yeah, Chameleon Twist was awesome.
I don't know that it was good, but it was
No,
rad.
it was. You're right. It was awesome. You could go up on your tongue and do a jump off of the.
Have you heard of Chameleon Twist, Forrest?
No.
All of the platforming in that game was you stuck your tongue out and controlled where it went and had to wrap it around things, and
Oh yeah,
it was freaky.
awesome.
It was a freaky
That's kind of
game.
cool.
Yeah. It was,
Kinda
it was a
cool.
neat game.
Yeah.
I definitely rented it at Blockbuster.
I
I
think I stole it from a friend.
Oh.
Like if I'm looking,
Man.
if I'm being honest with myself, I think I definitely took it home and then never gave it back.
As someone who's had that happen to them, that sucks.
I can imagine it does. I've also done it to a friend.
I've never done it to anybody.
They never asked for it.
I'm
so
pretty
it-
sure that the copy of Donkey Kong 64 that I own was stolen from someone's house.
I'm
Like,
surrounded by a bunch of thieves and
Is
liars.
it thieving if I borrowed it and then never gave it back and they never asked for
I
it?
mean, I guess not, but
Yeah, exactly.
at a certain point,
There's no statute of limitations on that. There was no return window that they asked for.
Yeah. If they wanted it back now, he'd give it to them.
I would if I still had it.
I think that's even worse. That you don't have it.
Like, things
It's
get
an
lost for
N64
us.
game. What do you want from me? I don't believe in
I want your
physical
copy
media
of the
anymore.
game so I can give it back to that poor guy. He took it from.
I don't even remember what friend it would be.
And yet I bet he's still fuming over it.
Yeah.
He thinks about it all the time.
He probably
It
misses
was probably
it.
his favorite game.
I know there are 3 people that I've let borrow my games that did not get returned to me.
And they're all dead now.
No. I just don't know where any of them are anymore.
Tetris Forever. I'm surprised they're bringing this up.
Well, look, we were
Yeah.
talking about the indie.
Yeah, that's what
we
it
got-
started.
we got-
No,
through the
this
end of it.
was in the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase,
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah.
not the Indie World Showcase.
I mean, I went through all the stuff that I like from the indie world, so
Yeah.
what else
But
you
yes.
got?
Tetris Forever. Obviously, I'm interested in this.
Yeah, I saw that announcement. I was watching the trailer, and I'm like, this is so upset, Sally.
But look, a lot of it's just Tetris, but I will say when they showed the what is it called?
The
Blastress or something?
Time warp.
No, I don't care about that.
Oh.
Hatris?
No, not Hatris.
Bombless?
Bombless, yes. When they showed that, I was like, "Oh, okay. Now you've got my attention." Because if I just wanted to play regular Tetris, I would just play Tetris 99. They have to throw something else in, which they have. But yeah, this is
Like I say, if I wanted to play regular Tetris, I'd play Tetris 99.
I can't just play boring old Tetris. I need the adrenaline of competing against 98 other people.
You sound like an addict.
Well, yeah, when it comes to Tetris, I am. But yes, they got these other types, which is cool. Yeah, that looked neat.
I don't know. I think the Time Warp game mode for it looks pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. But I feel like I would, instead of playing the Time Warp, I would just be
you just play
playing
999.
No, I'd be playing the specific modes that have the different stuff in them.
Ah, I see.
Rather than wanting to play a mode that constantly is shifting in between stuff.
Fair.
They also showed that Star Overdrive game that doesn't look interesting to me.
It
looked
very up my
interesting
alley.
to me. You're on a hoverboard flying through space and beating people up with your hoverboard.
What else could you ask for?
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't do much for me. I think
This dude's cool. He's got moves. He's got white hair. Like, I don't know. I'm sold.
The Patrick Star game that looks very weird. That's like
That was such a...
that Patrick Star game is just Goat Simulator, but SpongeBob, I think.
Which I guess there probably is a...
Yeah, it's children.
There's probably a very large audience.
The
for
audience
that.
is AJ.
Yeah.
The audience,
I don't know. I don't think
I
he
don't know.
watches
He's
SpongeBob.
probably
So
yeah. He's probably not SpongeBob, but like.
But there also was the Goat Simulator remaster. So.
Capcom Fighting Collection 2.
Woo!
This is the only thing that I was huge on in this.
Really?
So I will say that this was... I saw the titles, like, I don't care. But then they showed Power Stone, and I was like, okay.
They showed Power
Excuse me,
Stone.
I am very interested.
Yeah.
And they showed that freaking...
Plasma
sword, and I was
dude.
like, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So I've never played Power Stone,
Me either.
and I've always heard of how great it is.
Yeah.
And so that is why I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it.
And people have said the main thing with this is that people are baffled by this because they're like, I would have paid $60
I feel like
for
they could have just
for
released
Power
Power
Stone
Stone and
one
Power
and
Stone
two.
2. Absolutely. So the fact that it's thrown in this bundle, which probably will only be like $40.
Yeah. Maybe 50, because I think the MVC collection is 50.
Yeah,
And I
but-
think the
but
previous fighting collection was 40 or 50.
because I got the previous fighting collection because of a
'Cause
couple games on
Darkstalkers.
there that I wanted to play. Also, Project Justice, which I have no idea what it is, but I was scrolling through Facebook today, and some account showed up that was showing off like official art from the Power Stone games and Plasma Saber and Project Justice.
Heck
And I was
yeah.
scrolling through and looking at it. It's like, wait a minute. I know all these characters. They're in SNK versus Capcom Card Fighters Clash.
Yep.
Of course.
Now, see, the fun thing about that game is the Japanese version had, like, with all of the cards, there was, like, a database thing that you could look at information about the characters and the games they're from. That was not included in the English translation, so all I have is the names of the characters. I have no idea what they're from.
That's hilarious.
And so it's always funny when I see them in other things. Like, that's that thing.
What is the difference between Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper?
I wish I could tell you.
Well, I think I actually... Okay, I watched... It might not have been Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Alpha 3 Upper, but I watched a YouTube video the other day. You know how I watch it pretty much any YouTube video that comes on my feed. It was about fighting game characters that got worse when they added moves to them. And one of them specifically was about, I think it was these two games, about Guile, who had this really good heavy kick that they then changed in the next one that made him a lot worse. So it might be that. That might be the only difference. But I'm sure that,
Guile's heavy kick.
I'm sure there are extra characters, and they have tweaked a bunch of them from Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Because keep in mind, back when those games came out, the only way you can update a game was by re-releasing it.
Yeah, and they were just always putting out new ones to put in arcades, so people would constantly spend more money on them.
So
my
That's
main
why there's
complaint
so
about
many
all this is that I have to see
of
Terry
Street Fighter.
Bogard. I hate him. I have to see his face.
Oh, how can you hate him? He's great.
He cares
also-
about you. He asks if you're okay.
He took a spot in Smash, and I'll never forgive him.
Oh,
He's a great card in
Hush.
Street Fighter versus Street Fighter. I mean, Capcom versus SNK Card Fighters
him
Clash.
and Minecraft Steve are
Yeah, Minecraft Steve
yeah,
Dead to
Minecraft
me.
Steve can get out
can
of
go to
and
the
Incineroar.
Nether.
Even though I like Incineroar in the game, but I was really mad when they announced him at first.
there. Yeah,
Um,
Terry's
uh,
great. He also looks great in
Terry.
Street Fighter 6.
I guess Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster.
It's like it is a
Oh,
veritable Terry
hold on.
renaissance that we're in right
It
now.
truly is. Also, we're skipping over the most important thing here is we got a release
don't.
date for the NBC collection.
That's true.
Yeah, but we talked about that game a lot already.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it more when it comes out, both digitally and physically, because I'm going to buy it both ways.
Yeah, probably.
Both ways.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Suikoden 1 and 2, I
Yeah,
feel
this
like
is cool.
This
this has been announced for years at
Really?
this point.
I when I saw it, I thought it was like a new announcement
Yeah, what do you...
because I feel like it would be a huge deal.
I feel like they announced that they were doing this, or
I
it.
think you're just getting it confused with the Aiden Chronicles
No,
thing, which is...
I don't think he is.
There has been no Suikoden news.
But
in
anyway,
years.
we're getting remasters of the first two games.
They look great.
And the thing is, like, everyone says Suikoden 2 is the best, so I do wonder if there's really even any reason to play the first one. But who knows?
I need to look up one.
If I get it, I might just pop straight into 2.
Oh man, I'm not crazy.
You're not? Dang.
No, IGN even said that Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster was first announced back in 2022
What?
That's why no one knew about it.
with
It's
a plan
because
for a 2023 release date.
What happened?
They didn't do it.
They
I think you just killed David.
I mean,
he's,
you're
he's
right.
clutching his
They
chest.
just-
He's having a
they
heart
just
attack.
didn't
do it.
They didn't do it. They said there was a plan, and then you know,
Wow. So I'm sorry for doubting you.
I'm not crazy. I listen to a lot of news shows who also ponder similar things, but I knew that I had heard.
They ponder the announcement dates of Suikoden.
Well, because it's like had we
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
so yeah, you know,
Maybe.
Suikoden 1 and 2, Dragon Quest 3 is coming November 14th. That's going to be dope.
Yeah.
Castlevania Dominus, which
Is a cool name.
it's a cool name, and it's purposely starts with a D and ends with an S for the Dominus collection.
Yeah.
That's
For
wonderful.
Well, listen, the Game Boy collection was the Castlevania Advance collection.
Yep.
but
We-
that
we just
that's-
love it.
That's very clear.
And
Yeah.
Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow was called that mainly because of the DS.
Yeah.
What they should have done is made it two words with a D and an S.
Yeah. That's true. Man, go.
Civ 7 is coming to the
Everyone
Switch.
should go play these games because all three of them are great. I've played all of them. I beat all of them. One of them you have to draw sigils during your attacks with boss fights.
I wonder how they'll do that.
It's like kind of side by side, which is weird.
Yeah, like so.
Right, but they can't.
you can't do a touch screen.
Yeah, they're not going to do a touchscreen. So
They are on handheld on the Switch.
I guess.
No, not I guess. That is how they do it. I watched footage
Oh,
nice.
okay. Cool.
because it's out already. It came out the day of the Switch.
Fair. Shadow drop.
But yeah, you do the touch it on the.
But still, I wonder how
Switch.
they will do it. Not on the Switch handheld.
It's
Probably-
on a button.
yeah, I was
they
about to
just
say,
attach
probably
it
just
to a
with
button
a-
that skips it. Because there's also like a drawing portraits thing and Portrait of Ruin, stuff like that. So like it just is attached to a button that basically treats it as an attack.
I see. That's rad.
Somehow they're going to get Civilization 7 running on this Switch.
Crazy.
Absolutely insane. Tales of Grace's F remastered.
I always like seeing more Tales games.
People popped
re-released.
off at this.
Yeah.
Really?
People
Yeah.
like their Tales.
I think it's a strange one for them to remaster.
And then it ended with Yakuza Kiwami, and I was mad.
See, I was popping off. Why were you mad about that?
Because it didn't end with Hollow Knight, obviously.
Oh, sure. You can't hold that against Yakuza.
Yeah, I can. You can play Yakuza Kiwami on like 18 other consoles at
That's
this point.
true. Especially, it will run better on all
So
of those other
doing
consoles.
a one more thing for this is kind of frustrating, but whatever.
I wish that they would release remastered versions of the 2D Tales games. That would be cool for me personally.
There was a couple other things. There's a weird farming game
That game looked cool. The new Rune Factory.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I don't know that I will play it because it is a farming game,
Yeah.
but it looked neat.
Just play Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley is a very different game than what they showed for that new Rune Factory game, which seems to be more of a JRPG than it is a farming game.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley is more of a JRPG than you may be thinking.
Okay,
it
but
is.
is there like elaborate battles in it?
There is battles.
But are they elaborate?
No, but you can marry characters.
Well, you can do that in this Rune Factory game.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll have Abigail.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
She is scary and plays flute in the cemetery at night, and I love her. She eats rocks.
Scary like most of the flautists I know.
She's great. I married her. She's fantastic. But yeah, I know. It's a farming game. It looks fun. I really thought they were going to end it on a farming game. I thought that would have been funny, and I would have laughed.
That would have been funny.
And instead, it ended on Yakuza, a franchise that I
Needs
think is
no
kind of
introduction.
impenetrable. I think at this
What?
point,
How?
it is.
You just start with 0 and go in straight
and play
order.
all
and
7
play
games.
700 hours of video games.
Sure.
700 hours will only get you through 2 games.
That's
David.
you're
If you're
almost,
platinuming them, then yes.
Let's be
luck.
realistic.
I'm
We're
sorry.
talking
I
about-
just think it is an impenetrable franchise at
We're
this
talking
point.
more about like 3 months straight of gaming.
Yeah, I know your brother did it.
He did do it.
Every time
It was
he quit.
wild.
He quit at when it's changed gameplay styles.
That's true. That's true.
Because he had
Like
no.
a Dragon rocks.
Yeah, he has no interest in
But he
playing
didn't want
that.
to play the turn-based combat.
Yeah, he has no interest in turn-based combat.
So sad.
Yeah, I do think at this point, like, it's just an impenetrable thing. It's sort of like One Piece. Like, they would just have to just start new.
I think you and I have
to-
different definitions of
They actually
impenetrable.
are starting anew with one.
I know,
Piece,
and
though.
I'm going to watch it. It'll be great. Out of spite.
I think it's
Just
I
like
think
I
it's
watched the Netflix one. And I
frankly
like that.
absurd that they are launching a reboot of an anime that is
Still
still
ongoing.
ongoing,
Yeah.
and will
I
still
agree.
be ongoing. But hey, more power to them, I guess.
I mean, hey, I like the Netflix one.
It was good. It was
Get
good.
a different
It was
voice
good.
actor for Luffy, and I might be in. I don't like the voice actor in English or Japanese for the anime.
Yeah, I
so-
truly, I cannot even like hear what the voices sound like. But I haven't watched One Piece, so
I
I've
tried
only seen
after
clips.
watching the Netflix show. I was like, you know what? I might give this a shot. And no,
No.
now see when I watched the Netflix show, I thought now I don't have to watch the anime.
I just wanted to know more about Three Swords.
Zoro,
I forgot his name.
Roronoa
Just
Zoro.
remember Sword and
Noah
Mouth guy.
Zoro.
See, I knew that even before watching the
Yeah.
Netflix thing. I just knew who he was.
Because he's
Yeah.
the best.
I didn't know
He's
anything.
got a sword in his mouth.
I didn't know
Him
that.
and Chopper. They're the best.
Yes, we love
What about Nefertari Vivi?
C1-10P from the hit show Star Wars Rebels.
Yes, I knew what you were talking about.
Chopper.
Yeah, I know who
The
you're
droid.
talking about.
The war criminal.
Yes.
Killed more people than anyone in Star Wars combined.
Almost. R2 is catching
I
up
don't
with
know.
him.
He definitely blew up a oil freighter in space that houses more people than the Death Star almost.
Okay, but they freaking blew up Coruscant in that one movie.
It wasn't Coruscant. Seth.
They just
It
never said,
really looked
they
like
just
Coruscant.
never said
Yeah,
that the
that's
seed of
called-
the Galactic Senate
that's
changed
called-
planets.
That's called J.J. Abrams wanting to make things look like things and not be them. Because
Well,
he's, he's him.
He's playing the greatest.
Either
hits.
way.
But you're not wrong.
It was probably more people on that,
That's possible.
since it was a whole planet that was all city.
There's no way to know. We don't know that it was a. We don't know that it was the planet is a city.
Well,
Like they state in, I think in New Hope or no, they state that in Phantom Menace. I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, man, Coruscant. Star Wars 1313. Where's
what
that?
Yeah, I was about to
horrible-
say, you think you're gonna go to Coruscant
God,
and Outlaws
Coruscant
and
is
all?
maybe like the most dystopian thing in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And we don't really think
And
about
yet,
it.
it is kind of one of the most
Rad.
interesting things.
Yeah.
That's rad.
It has to be like a horrible place to live.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely horrible.
It
to
doesn't
live.
matter
Frankly,
where you live.
I wish it was Coruscant that they blew up in that movie, because the galaxy would be a better place for it.
I mean, Coruscant.
I like this
is,
anarchist turn for you. This
They-
anti-establishment.
Listen, it's known that there is a dark side nexus on Coruscant. Okay, they built the city near it, and then they built the Jedi Temple on top of it, which is why they could not see the dark workings of Emperor Palpatine.
Yes.
I don't know what to tell
Sure.
you.
I'm sure that makes sense to some people.
Star Wars is impenetrable.
Nah, Star Wars is easy. Lightsabers, blasters, and the Force.
Star Wars is pretty easy
Boom.
if you only watch the good stuff.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's
Space.
impenetrable.
No. Star Wars is easy. Easy. Concepts. Good, bad. No gray Jedi crap here. Good, bad. Space.
Tiny parasites in your blood
Okay.
give you magic
Hold
powers.
We don't have to
on.
worry about that.
They are worrying more about it now.
I wish they
becoming
wouldn't.
a thing. But I'm glad we're talking about this instead of the lack of Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Which,
So-
let's not forget, it wasn't there.
It's going to be at Game Awards, though, so
Well,
Yeah.
just keep on rolling that ball down the hill.
up the hill, really.
Up the hill,
Whichever. You're really rolling.
Yeah, come
it
on,
up the hill.
Sizzle.
Whichever. It's going to come out before the end of the year.
Well, the end of a year,
Yeah.
if it comes out.
Hopefully, starting with 2020 something.
I'm worried they're dead at this point. No one's heard from them. No one, no one's talked to them.
Not even their family members.
I don't know.
Mm.
They haven't been on the Reddit, as far as I know. Team Cherry hasn't talked to the public.
And why would they?
It's just something.
The only thing people would say is win Silk Song.
Yeah.
And they don't want to talk about that, clearly.
I
If
want
they
them
did, the game would be out.
to. I just think it's unfair.
I think maybe they're in like a George R.R. Martin Winds of Winter thing where
They just don't know what to do.
Yeah, they don't know what to do.
I'm very curious what the operating budget for Silk Song is now that it has just gone on for so long.
I mean, it's only
its
two
development
dudes.
time.
So that's the other thing. A lot of people don't realize that Hollow Knight was mostly just two dudes. If you listen really closely,
and yet
all of the
apparently it was
sound.
playable in 2019.
Yeah, there was a playable
Yeah.
version on the show floor of E3. All of the sound effects are made by them.
Yeah.
Like all the bug noises are them. All that stuff. So I mean, they have said that it's way outgrew the size of Hollow Knight itself. So
Well,
I'm just worried at
That
how
game is already huge.
not big enough. I could go bigger.
I was looking at the map earlier today, and I saw one of the markers for one of the major bosses in it was all the way in a section just so completely so far removed from any other area that I'd been to, and I'm like, oh my god, there's still an entire third of this game that I haven't even gotten to yet, much less actually
For-
explored and fulfilled like the requirements of beating the area.
Is it in the bottom left?
Yes.
Oh, that place is hard.
Mm.
That's the home of the wasps.
Oh God.
The white
the-
Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
No, the I think that's the like grasshopper kingdom.
You wouldn't think about it in a game where everything is a bug, but there also are white people.
We can't be stopped. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God.
Just regular white people living in the bottom of the map.
At the bottom of Hollow Nest.
Hallowness.
Hollow, tomato.
No, respect it, man.
Respect my neck. Respect my neck.
Man, wait till you go to Deep Nest Forest. You're gonna hate it.
I love hearing that. Woohoo.
Much like the deep web, where all the white people are.
I think that there's all kinds on the deep web.
That's true. Except for in Hollow Knight.
That's true.
Where it's just bugs and white people.
Yeah. Lots of different kind of bugs, but only white people.
Only white people.
All right, so
They're an invasive species.
with that, we are gonna end the show. What's a good
But they're all
Lord.
landlords.
What's our best guess for the next lead singer of Linkin Park?
What?
Oh God. Yeah, they had a countdown,
They've added they're having a countdown.
and it reached 0. It glitched, and then it reversed. So now it's a count up.
Count up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Fred Durst.
It's gonna be Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco,
That would be so weird.
God.
or a hologram Chester Bennington,
I hope
which is
not.
morbid,
Or
but
hologram Tupac.
yeah, that would be with Chester
Ugh.
Bennington's voice, the AI of the future.
Hate it here.
It'll be Adam Lambert.
You keep,
What about Adam Levine?
Oh my god. You're picking like the farthest possible from Linkin Park that could ever exist.
What has Maroon
It's
5
so weird.
done lately? Get Adam Levine
Hard
over
to
there.
hard to even imagine.
It'll be yeah, I don't know. I don't know any other famous male lead
Harry
singers.
Styles.
Sure.
It would be so strange.
One of the Jonas Brothers.
Take your pick.
Joe. I like Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Jonas.
JoJo.
It'll be Walton Goggins.
I'd be there for that. I'd be seated for every concert. I would spend my life savings.
But only him as Uncle Baby Billy from The Righteous Gemstones.
Lord.
It works. It works.
Okay, I guess.
It works.
If you say
It'll be
so.
good. But you know, I didn't know how to end the show after how far off we got. So.
Nick Cage's Ghost Rider, actually.
That's there we go with the flaming skull.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Well, with that, we appreciate you listening. And, you know, we'll see you in 2 weeks, probably. I need to beat Star Wars. I'm going to beat Star Wars before we record next. Seth is...
It is impenetrable.
I'm gonna attach my PlayStation account probably to Ubisoft Plus, and then Seth is gonna play Sea of Thieves for forever.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
Get it right.
You know,
Thieves,
Put some respect
Order
on
of
that name.
Ecclesia,
Put some
Dawn
re-
of Sorrow.
Put some respect on
Respect
its
my
name.
neck.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.